morning friends and welcome back to Aisher Nai Soch presents Trans India. Friends, women empowerment has been something that the country has been talking about for a long time. At the same time, the road transport industry is considered to be one such industry where women have little to do. But times are changing and we see women making their presence felt. In this very special series brought to you by Aisher's Nai Soch, we will be talking to many such women who have made a mark for themselves in the transport industry and are changing the way this industry works. In Aisher's Nai Soch episode today, we will be talking to the third generation of a transport company that has been iconic in its own sense. Navata Transport has been in existence for the last 4 decades, although the group dates back to almost 6 decades. We will be talking today to Hema Parvataneni, who is the third generation holding the flag of Navata Transport high. Hema had a flourishing career in Silicon Valley, but she decided to leave that and come back to India and be part of the family business along with her siblings and cousins, thus making her the flag bearer of Aisher's Nai Soch. So let's dive into this interaction with Hema and track her journey. We will be talking today to someone who left an illustrious career in Silicon Valley and decided to join the logistics business. That, I think, is enough inspiration for all the women out there who are still thinking whether logistics and road transport is a place for them. So Hema, tell us, was Navata Transport a choice, a tough decision? How did you come upon that?
So it is not. I mean, I had it at the top of my mind. I always wanted to come back. Like, I went to Duke University in the US for my masters. So the plan was, okay, after I do my masters, I'll come back and join the business. But it didn't happen, obviously. I worked in the US for about 10 years.
10 years?
Yeah. I did management consulting, and then I was leading growth and product teams in in Silicon Valley. In San Francisco, like for startup, and then I was at bigger companies like Intuit. Intuit was my last gig. So we built a network, we had very good careers, and so it was a deliberate decision, tough decision actually.
Once back in India, was logistics a segment that you wanted to grow in?
Yeah, I came back with a view to join the family business. So, I mean, I had that maybe I should join tech, but if I wanted to do tech, I could have done it in Silicon Valley, which is the tech center for the world.
Right.
And I was growing pretty well there, like my career was doing well. So, yeah, it is my first choice.
Here, Navata Transport has always been known in the country to be someone driven by processes, driven by a lot of ethos. What were your first learnings in the company?
So, I haven't been in logistics, but growing in a family business, Navata has been like the second sibling along with us. It grew with us.
So at home you guys must be just talking logistics?
Yeah, because the company started in 82. And and my dad moved to Hyderabad for the growth of the company, because he was Hyderabad, although the Vijayawada was a headquarter,
right,
the whole business transactions were happening here. So we used to talk regularly about the industry, about the issues, the growing pains that the company is going through and all. So I kind of knew the industry. Navata was always like, I was always part of Navata without being part of it.
Hema, while Navata is a household name, there would be some people who may not be aware of the legacy of Navata. Can you take us through that journey?
Yeah. So the company, before I talk about the company, let me talk about the group. Navata Group was actually started by my grandfather, Mr. Subhash Chandra Bose, and his 2 brothers, Mr. Koteswar Rao and Mr. Sukadev. So my grandfather's father was a teacher. To support the family, he gave up his education and then he moved to Vijayawada. He joined as a mechanic, he learned the trade and all, and then he started off the mechanic shed in Vijayawada Autonagar in 1957, and that is the first organization in the group, so it's been over 6 decades. So the group from there has built a whole ecosystem in logistics. Like currently, not just Navata, we have PSC Bose Automobiles, which is a vehicle maintenance workshop. It manages all the vehicle building, maintenance and all for all the group companies, and it also has its own FTL wing. And then we have Navata Road Transport. It is obviously into secondary transportation, leader in South and West, and it was started in 1982, and it started off with a mere 45 branches, 17 vehicles. And we have other sister concerns in Vishakhapatnam. One like tires are a major component of our ecosystem, so we have our own tire retreading unit in partnership with MRF, where all our tires are done, retreaded. Yeah, I was looking for the right word. And then we have a partnership with IOCL. We have several IOCL retail outlets under the name of Ravi Race in Vishakhapatnam. And all our major hubs have a retail pump within our campuses. All not retail pump for self-use. So we kind of have this whole ecosystem. And Navata was founded in 1982, like I said. But now it's been over 4 decades, like next year it will be 40 years. So it's been a great growth path. Now we have around 700 branches, 500 plus vehicles and thousands of employees. So I'm very proud of what the growth curve has been like. Yeah.
What were the kind of expectations that you had to deal with?
So more than the expectation, I feel the family, the 2 generations of family has put in their life into growing this group, into growing this company. And I felt that the next generation, which is us, we have developed our own skills. We can bring in a lot of value into the group, and it is our responsibility on us to grow the group into the next, to its full potential. So that was the thought process behind joining the company.
Hima, how many of you siblings and cousins are currently in this business, and what role is each of them handling?
So actually my dad's generation, my dad and his 3 brothers are there, and then we are 6 of us. You want me to tell you the names?
Yes, tell me the names.
Okay, so Subhash Chandra Bose is one of the youngest grandson in the family. So his name is based on my grandfather.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So he currently manages PSC Bose Automobiles, the vehicle maintenance and the FTL division. And then we have Suchandra, who is the youngest, who manages all the Ravi Race, IOCL outlets and PSC, like the retreading unit in Vishakhapatnam. And then 4 of us, myself, Vinil, Rohita and Vikas, we are in Navata Road Transport.
So the work is well divided between all the cousins, so that there is no interference, and there is more of coordination, I would say.
So in Navata, we do it in a very professional way.
Okay.
When we actually came back, we had a conversation on what everyone wants to do, where like what are the strengths they can bring in and all, and accordingly we divided up the roles. Like Rohita, she manages accounts and finance in Vijayawada. She comes with a background in MBA in accounting and finance, and she does that. I myself coming with a background in growth and product and all of that. I do growth in Navata Road Transport. So I manage any like sales, marketing, anything relating to customer relationship management in Navata Road Transport.
Hima, what's the kind of reaction you get when a young girl like you with a heavy tech background goes to meet customers, but at the same time also knowing that you represent a 6-decade-old company? What is their reaction like? Is there some kind of pressure of carrying this huge legacy that Navata comes with?
I think it's a surprise, people take it openly, but several times you get those remarks where people are like, surprising, it's very interesting that you joined your family business, how come you made that decision and all. I think that pressure is there, but we also have the support. And we also have the time to kind of come into the system, right? It's been about 2 years, and our fathers are also working, so we have the time to evaluate the market, the opportunities, what are our strengths, where can we grow and all of that. So I think we are kind of set up for success.
So you have a free hand to take decisions.
Yeah, we have a free hand, but we still
A
report.
controlled free hand.
Yeah, like you can't change everything.
Overnight.
Yeah.
It has to be a gradual process.
Yeah. So we have the free hand, but we do go through them for their experience and inputs.
Friends, as we told you, Hima has studied in the US and has worked there for a lot of time, and coming back to India was definitely not easy. So Hima, having lived and worked extensively in the US for a long time, a significantly long time, what is the kind of difference in work culture you have seen in US and what is currently prevalent in India, especially in the transport industry?
I think there's a significant difference. You know, it's not just the US, it's the industries also, right? I was in the tech industry. I was, so tech in Silicon Valley, because they're very pampered, the employees. Like, like there's free food, you can work from home at any point of time, the campus is really good because there's a lot of scarcity of employees, so everyone's competing.
Hima, can you take us through your first day at work? What was the kind of things that were going around you?
So I think it was just like I came in, I got introduced to the team, I kind of knew most of them, and then there was an induction program there's an induction program in Navata that we go through, that we ask all the new employees to go through, because every company is different, every company's processes are different, and employees can come from outside the industry also, so it's kind of setting them up for success. So I joined that induction program. I went through that whole induction program for a week. So I think it's very helpful and it's important not just for the employees, even for us who are coming in new into the industry, to understand the pain points, understand why the processes are set up, what are the roles of individual teams, what are the opportunity areas, what are the pain points. So I went through each of the departments, kind of like a fast track, but still did that. I did that here, and then I went to the head office. I stayed there for about 10 days. I went through each of the department there. I spoke to the whole team. I took notes, and so not just the first day, but that was kind of like my first week. Yeah, and I think it's important because it's a new industry. To do anything, I can't just come in, read reports and say, oh, this has to change, this has to change. I have to respect the company's legacy. I have to understand what are the systems existing, why are they there, what are the current pain points, what are the areas of opportunity for improvement before I jump in and do stuff. So that was pretty good for me to get into the system.
Hima, what was the kind of acceptance at work in terms of, people were okay to be under your wing, or for them you were still, the boss's daughter?
I think being a family business, you're always the boss's daughter.
The pampered one?
I don't think pampered one, because I do come in with a lot of experience. So there's that inherent respect that people have considering my educational and professional background, but they do have this thought, she doesn't know the industry, she's coming from US, what if she does what if she has all these radical changes in mind, can we trust her? So and that's the case for any leader joining any organization, right? Like the first, not just a family business, but a new CEO or new leader, head of operations joining a new organization, they have to build the trust. They have to ensure that the people who work for them can actually respect their decisions. So the first 3 months are always important, and it's even more so if it is a family business, because there's some kind of entitlement. So I did go through the whole process, and I think it helped me cross that hurdle.
Hima, what are the kind of changes that you have seen in the transport industry?
Change is constant. If you ask me within Navata Road Transport, initially as soon as I come in, I was like, why are there so many processes? Like there's a process for everything in Navata.
Hima, what have been your initiatives for change within the company to make the organization better?
Yeah, so there were a lot, but two things I would like to highlight is one is emphasis on technology. Like we already have, like we have a in-house technology team. We have a proprietary TMS. Everything is tracked end to end. Like there's no like all the 700 franchises are automated in Navata by the time I joined. So over that there's also a lot of other things that we could do. Supply chain visibility is a very important aspect. So we ensured barcode scanning is implemented across all the hubs and all the franchises, like every article is tracked. Control tower is now set up in Vijayawada, where all the real-time tracking reports of all the thousands of consignments that are booked in Navata across come in. They monitor for damages, they monitor for delays, and they ensure service levels are maintained at the right time. So that also, you know, helps address the customer's concern on where is my consignment at any point, the whole supply chain visibility aspect of it. So that is a great initiative. And another initiative is I don't think it is just my initiative, it's a team effort, but something that I would really, which was really good is before previously the vehicle routes. So we have over 500 vehicles in Navata Road Transport, like own vehicles, although we have other contract stuff. So we used to, all our routes used to start in our head office and end in our head office.
Okay.
So it's a express transport kind of operations, right? Like that means every route takes around 6 days to start and end.
Okay.
So what we did is we identified out of the 18 hubs that we have, we identified 5 optimal locations to decentralize the vehicles placement. So we have 5 vehicle hubs now. Each of the hub has its own vehicle maintenance team. It has its own vehicle parking facilities and cleaning facilities, stations for the drivers, like the dormitories, the food facilities and everything. So now with this decentralization, there were a lot of positive things that happened. The route, 99% of the routes have now the turnaround time is less than 2 days. That means the driver can come back to the base location within 2 days. It reduces the the wear and tear of the vehicles. It helps identify any issues in the vehicles upfront for proactive maintenance and all. So, and it also helped reduce our accident rate. It helps reduce our retention, improve our retention rate of drivers with this change. So I think it is a phenomenal change that we have gone through. It's done really well.
Hima, the road transport industry always keeps talking about driver shortage, and many companies do face that problem as well. How is the situation at Navata Transport, and how do you manage to keep the drivers within the fold?
It's part of the industry, right? Like we are pretty good with driver retention, but there is like the summer, then there's driver shortage. So we have our systems to hire the drivers. And our drivers have very good facilities, like we at Navata treat drivers as a family. So they have all the facilities like PF, ESI, they have group insurance, and each of our hubs is equipped with resting facilities. And we have a policy within Navata where no driver drives from 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. Okay. Anywhere.
Oh, that is nice.
Yeah, so all the vehicles halt at that time, and because of our routes, like I said, the vehicle hubs and our route planning, most of the time the driver is at a hub where all the facilities are available, or 1% of the time they may be resting at a branch. So they're not looking outside for facilities to rest. So they have restrooms, they have access to everything. So that kind of helped us reduce the accident rate, helped us hire the right type of drivers, and they stay with us.
Friends, when youngsters join the business, they definitely have to do something different. They have to move with the modern times, and the young generation at Navata Transport have done just the same. The young brigade at Navata Transport have started Navata Supply Chain Solutions. As we all know, when youngsters join the business, they not just make a difference to their existing business, but also expand in various directions. And Hema and her siblings have done no different. The young brigade at Navata have started Navata Supply Chain Solutions. And let's find out from Hema what Navata Supply Chain Solutions is all about.
Yeah, Navata Supply Chain Solutions is a brainchild of the third generation. So we feel like each of the companies in the group are good at what they do. Like PSC Bose Automobiles is good at FTL, then Navata Road Transport is good with hub and spoke model, secondary transportation. But the customer needs are changing. Customers are looking for an end-to-end solution provider. They're looking for custom solutions. Right. Like one system doesn't fit well for everyone. So that is why we started off Navata Supply Chain Solutions. This is a tech-enabled asset-light organization which offers customer-centric solutions, be it in surface express transportation or third-party logistics or supply chain consulting. Yeah, so it's been around for 2 years now, and we are seeing very good traction.
So, what is the customer base of Navata Supply Chain Solutions? Are you catering to the same customers of Navata Transport, giving them value addition, or you're getting in new customers as well?
I would say it has widened, but we do have the anchor customers.
Right.
That is a good thing about being in this group, right? Navata is a known brand. The customers know they can rely on us. So we have a few anchored customers. Our existing customers want to grow with us horizontally, want to outsource. So that is working well for us, and we are also getting a lot of new customers through this new organization. They can come to us with their end-to-end requirements, and even in transportation, like be it transportation, when you think about Navata Road Transport, you're thinking about containerized vehicles, hub and spoke model. But with Navata Supply Chain Solutions, like for one company, they came to us, they said, I'll just outsource the whole transportation for these 2 states to you. So they have intra-city movement, then they have rural movement, and we have different operational models for intra-city movement where we deliver the consignments on the same day. And then for upcountry, we work with our ecosystem partners like Navata Road Transport, where we move them to the rural villages, move the consignment to the rural equipment. So we design the solution to meet the customer's expectation on service level, cost, and execute it through our ecosystem partners.
Hema, what are the kind of typical challenges you faced at work, or what you see within the industry?
I think one of the biggest surprise for me joining the industry is when I came to India joining the industry, I was like, transport supply chain is like the backbone of any company. We should be growth partners.
That is a myth.
So yeah, this is I feel the industry is changing, the outlook is changing, but I feel that is one of the challenges that we face. So transport or supply chain is looked at as a cost center. It is more of an afterthought. So what happens is they work to manage over years. What the companies have done is to manage the costs, they have added a lot of vendors or partners, transport partners. Like they might be working with 10 to 50 partners just in few states.
Right.
So that means the companies are risking the lack of clean data flow in terms of tracking, visibility and all. Now they want to get out of that mess. They want to work with organized players, but they want to do it at a cost lower than what they're doing. So there is a pain point there where the customers I feel customers need to look at transport industry more as a partner, where they need to look at the end-to-end cost, not just as the upfront cost of how much is my freight, what are the losses that they're losing in the damages, what are the overall indirect costs they're incurring by going with all the ad hoc ways to reduce costs. And another thing the industry I think is we are doing for ourselves is we are cutting costs. We are competing in a bad way with each other. We are accepting terms that might not be good. Like some customers, not everyone, but some customers are offering payment terms which are over 6 months. But the
people
are taking up those tenders, which is that means we are kind of underselling ourselves. Then another thing is there's all these one-sided agreements. Agreement is something, if we are equals, if agreement is between equals, it should be between equals. We are signing an agreement, then it should be mutually acceptable. There are clauses in one-sided agreements where there are a lot of deductions and all of that, and our industry is just accepting those and just signing them.
Hima, one of the issues with the industry has been lack of unity, which the industry of course has been talking about for a long time, but nothing much has been done about it. Do you feel that is a deterrent for growth?
Yeah, but nobody's like, you need unity within the industry to take a stand. I feel that is currently missing. Like the operational costs during COVID were going up, but the freight rate was going down, which is sad actually. The fuel rate is going up like crazy, then the freight or cost should go up, but it was going down. So these are some of the surprising aspects for me in the industry.
Hima, do you feel the youth is making enough difference to the industry currently?
I think they are, but they could do it to a better extent, I feel. Like at Navata we take a stand. We don't go for unhealthy competition. We have fixed terms for payments. We don't, we believe in mutual respect with our customer. We contract with customers that kind of give us that respect. But when you're talking about youngsters, how much can they make that change? It is
a gradual process.
It's a gradual process because we give a cost to a customer. Some other competitor might just come in and cut down the cost by 40%. The customer might know that competitor might not give the same level of service, but it is an immediate cost cut of 40%. If they take that contract, they can't come back to the 100% where they were above. So now everyone's stuck. They can't help. They're suffering with the service, but they can't increase their cost. Now the new baseline is set.
So Hima, how do you deal with your set of customers who want to lower the freight and at the same time get better service? How do you compete in such a situation?
So we have not been losing much, like touch wood, our business has been doing well, because I think one of the important changes that have happened during COVID is there's a shift towards working with organized players. So we have been getting customers who have not worked with us before, so we have been growing. But when customers do come back saying we have this freight and how do we manage it, we take a stand. Like we evaluate our costs, we evaluate what is the best price we can go for, and we tell the customer the same thing. We tell them this is our best rate, we want to work with you. You don't give us the whole business. You try our service, you compare it with someone else's, you calculate your entire circular cost instead of just the upfront cost, and then we can scale slowly. And that is for most customers, because of our network, because of our reach, we have that advantage that not a lot of competitors might have.
So Navata Supply Chain Solutions is giving the customers value addition at a better price?
So Navata Supply Chain Solutions is now offering end-to-end. So now what we can go to the customer and say is whatever your requirement, you tell us. So we can also optimize cost for them in a way. Like with a typical hub and spoke model, we might not be able to customize a lot. But say within the city, if we come up with a solution where the volume is there, we do dynamic routes using artificial intelligence and we reduce our costs, then we can kind of give back to the customer a better price. So we are kind of exploring all those opportunities.
Hima, we all know that with COVID striking, the initial few weeks were very critical for the road transport industry, especially taking care of the staff, the drivers, and Navata Road Transport has a huge driver as well as a staff base. What steps did you take to make sure that these drivers were healthy and at the same time taken care of otherwise?
Yeah, it was totally unexpected, right? None of us thought about it. But when we did go into the lockdown, we had, because we deal with a lot of essentials, we kind of had to start off after a month. But during the lockdown period, we took care of the staff, like all our migrant labor and all. We ensured like all our labor come from areas from outside. So we ensured they had all the facilities available within the hub. We ensured they had, we kind of sponsored their food and all. And similarly for the drivers and staff, we took care of them. Whoever is staying in our facilities, we kind of sanitize them every few hours. We ensured the canteen is running, up and running. It's maintained in a sanitized way. So
Hima, what are the future plans of Navata Transport and Navata Supply Chain Solutions from here on? Where does the company head towards?
I think like I said, I do believe there's a huge opportunity in the logistics industry. B2B is growing, rural penetration is growing. So the approach the founders have taken for Navata Road Transport is they went deep in the states that they are present. So we have the reach in south and west that no one else has. Like we can reach every pin code in these states. So, and that is the growth plan. That is a growth plan for most companies, the rural commerce and all. And so we have several plans for expansion. I can say becoming the market leader pan-India, but it can be either growing horizontally to all areas of supply chain instead of growing pan-India, or it can be growing pan-India, expanding our 3PL vertical, expanding our supply chain consulting vertical. We have a really cool tech now through our ecosystem partners in Navata Supply Chain Solutions. So doing that. So we have big plans where we focus on Surface Express, focus on 3PL, focus on these custom solutions and do it in a very tech enabled way. And go pan-India as the time progresses, as per the plan. I don't want to say we want to go pan-India now.
Hima, Navata Transport has also been running a trust for quite some time. Can you tell us what activities happen in this trust?
So our founders really believe in growing the logistics community. So we have several activities that are part of our PSC Bose Trust. The trust is based in Nandigama. So it is a free boarding and lodging driving school for anyone who wants to come join the profession. There are classes, there's free boarding and lodging there, and we have a 100-acre driving track in the school there. So we have the right facilities, they can learn the driving there. Even for our drivers, whenever there's a requirement, we give them a refresher course for free on our trust. We also have subsidized ITI courses in the college that is running there. So because like I said, my grandfather started off as a mechanic, so he understands the importance of developing this skill. So we are developing that ITI college for various types of professions, and we also have medical facilities that we focus on for the team and for the logistics professionals. Like in Vijayawada, Autonagar, we have a free dispensary. It's been running for several years now. Anyone can just walk in, get diagnosed, they can get the medicines and all of that. And all our employees can access educational scholarships and all for their kids also. So it's all done as part of the trust.
Thank you so much, Hima. So friends, this was a very exclusive conversation with Hima Parvataneni of Navata Transport and Navata Supply Chain Solutions. She is the true flag bearer of Aishar's Nayi Soch. Her thoughts, her vision and her grit to change the industry is something that can be emulated not just by women but by many other youngsters who are part of this road transport industry.